Good, happy Monday evening. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Let's get started. First up, mental health, substance abuse, issues connected providers say. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Ray Brewer.
You're a brave man, Mr. Stevens. Your testimony will save lives. Mr. Stevens, this is your new name. This is your new house and a perfectly inconspicuous SUV. You must become invisible.
I'll take my chances.
These two things do not operate in separate arenas.
Thus, those dealing with mental health and substance abuse issues say the time has come to address them together.
More than 50% of the time, these illnesses are commingled. And so what we want to do is stress the point that you can't treat them separately. You have to treat the whole person.
One of the barriers to doing that, though, is a lack of qualified professionals.
It's really been a struggle to have the right workforce in place to be able to provide these services.
The intent of this conference was to try to boost our current workforce, but also bring in other professionals.
Courtney Tanner runs a residential recovery center for pregnant women and those with babies that are born addicted. One of the things they are looking at, making it easier for qualified professionals to work here.
New Hampshire Providers Association has worked on licensing reciprocity, so providers coming from other states to make sure that they can work here in New Hampshire.
The former commissioner of New Hampshire Health and Human Services, Nick Tupas, believes that ultimately integrated care will require all social agencies to work together.
We can't just deal with somebody's mental health or substance use issue and not deal with the fact that they may not have a home, they may not have a job.
One thing he hopes changes in the coming years is the stigma attached to mental health issues. He says he has seen change, but we're not there yet. In Manchester, Ray Brewer, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that report and that video. Alex Corey on becoming manager. I never thought it would happen this quick. Alex Corey has joined the Boston Red Sox at Fenway Park as the club's new manager. Corey, 42, has no managerial experience, but he played 14 years as an infielder in the major leagues, including 4 with the Red Sox from 2005 to 2008, one of which culminated in a World Series title run. He worked as a bench coach for the Houston Astros in the World Series winning season. In his introduction in Boston, he thanked that organization. The Red Sox and Corey agreed to a 3-year contract that will run through 2020 season, with a club option for 2021 season. Corey, the club's 47th manager, replaces John Farrell, who was fired after back-to-back division titles. Corey is the first former Red Sox player to manage the team since 1994. Maine boy battling cancer receives 14,000 Christmas cards in one day. Let's take a listen to the video from WMTW News 8 in Maine.
Cancer for nearly half of his young life.
Diagnosed in February of 2014. Long, hard road of treatment, radiation, chemo.
Words no 9-year-old should ever be familiar with. That fight has taken quite a toll on Jacob. His cancer has reached stage 4. Now in a hospital room at the Barbara Bush Children's Hospital, his family is celebrating the holidays early this year.
Just that little moment to make him happy and just to make his day.
And Jacob has a simple request. Homemade cards from anyone who can spare a little holiday cheer to make this Christmas his last, a special one. It started with one card from a friend. Since then, Jacob's wish has snowballed. His room quickly filling with holiday mail from across the country and beyond.
It's neat to hear that cards are coming in from all over the world. Denmark, Sweden, Antarctica, the UK.
Speaking of the Antarctic, Jacob's family says he's a big fan of penguins. They're his distraction during this difficult and unfair journey.
It's just been a blessing for him, a comfort for him for, it makes the appointments and the treatments that much more comfortable for him.
With each card, message, and gift, a reminder that Jacob is not alone for his Christmas in November.
I like the festiveness. It's making me smile right now, and seeing him smile and be happy. It's just been a blessing to, it fills my heart with such joy to see him happy like this.
And that smile,
thank you.
That's the ultimate gift. In Portland, Tyler Cataract, WMTW News 8.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Whoa, sorry about that. Dropping the pen there. If you want to send Jacob a card, if it can be mailed to Jacob Thompson, CO, Barbara Bush Children's Hospital at Maine Medical Center, 22 Barn Hill Street, Portland, Maine, 04102. Now let's take a look at your stock market and see how your stock market did for this evening. Your Dow Jones Industrial Average closed in the green and went up. Your S&P 500 Index closed in the green and went up. Your Nasdaq closed in the green and went up. RUSS 2K closed in the green and went up. And VIX closed in the green and went up. Stocks close at record high as Dell Making is back on Wall Street. U.S. equalities hit records high on Monday as sentiment on Wall Street was lifted by news of corporate deal making. Church shooting not racially or religiously motive, officials say. Let's take a listen to the video from ABC News.
That have been recovered. One was the Ruger 5.56 rifle that was recovered at the scene of the church. 2 additional handguns were recovered from the vehicle of the deceased suspect. One was a Glock 9mm and one was a Ruger 22. I also can confirm that all 3 of these firearms were purchased by the deceased suspect. And there's been a lot of information in the media and question about the discharge of this individual from the military. What I will tell you right now is that, in general, the If an individual has a dishonorable discharge from the military, they would be prohibited from possessing or purchasing firearms. In this specific investigation, we are early in the investigation. We do not have all the documentation yet. So until we can get all the documentation to determine exactly what his discharge was, exactly what his conviction in the military, we will not have a determination on if this individual was prohibited from possessing or purchasing firearms.
And one thing everybody wants to know is, why did this happen? It's a senseless crime, but we can tell you that there was a domestic situation going on within this family. The suspect's mother-in-law attended this church. We know that he had made threatening texts from him, and we can't go into details about that domestic situation that is continuing to be vetted and investigated. But we want to get that out there, that this was not racially motivated. It wasn't over religious beliefs. There was a domestic situation going on within the family and the in-laws.
Okay, and there you go on that video from a press conference they held today. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Monday evening, and I'll see you back here tomorrow with another newscast. And I'll see you back here later on this evening for a news report. Goodbye, everyone.